Hello there. So I wanted to research consumerism because as I don't know if you've been reading my articles, listening or watching to my YouTube videos, but I've been talking about consumerism and how it's really divided in terms of the factories in Asia creating tons of pollution, children in Pakistan not being able to go to school, and then people in America just consuming, and in Europe not understanding the effects of the pollution in Asia on their consumer habits. So I looked it up, Wikipedia. This is from Wikipedia. It has a list, as you can see, of consumer markets of the world. And you can view this whole thing at your will. Okay, so the United States is first. So this is an HFC, so that means household final consumption expenditure. Okay, so we're at 19 million. So that's pretty dramatic, right? Compared to when we look at the European Union, it drops down to 9 or 10. So it like halves. So you would then wonder, like, what is the population, right? The European Union's population, so the United States is 340 million. European Union is 450 million. So the European Union has more people than the United States. Again, these are complicated economic factors. There's so many variables we could research. That's just kind of showing you that there's a really big difference, right? Okay, so then, for instance, I was curious about Japan and Germany, 2 and 2. What are their populations? They're about the same, I think. Let's see. Sorry, I was opening different tabs. Population of Japan. It's actually much larger than I thought. 125 million. Wow. And then Germany population. Okay, let's type in population of Germany. Population of Google AI is really fun to work with, by the way. If you're interested in AI, it's really interesting. So Germany has a smaller population than Japan. I think I was misled because Japan's an island, but they actually have more people. So 2 and 2. So that was interesting data. Like China 6, that made sense because China's massive. So if people don't know the population of China, China, 1.4 billion. So 1.4 billion, massive amounts of people. So 6, kind of makes sense. All right, so let's see. And then India, so the population of India, I had that up there somewhere. To India, 1.4. and China's at 1.4. They're basically the same. Okay. So India, where's India? India's 2 and China's 6. So China's obviously more more wealthy, huh? Okay, so that makes sense. So all right. So let's see. So the United States, 340 million people consuming 18 million HFCE. But we're talking about the world here. We're talking about petroleum factories. We're talking about minerals, animals, plants, oxygen. So this is really, this kind of proves, like, if you read the Bible, Satanism, greed, Luciferianism, like, wow, like the European Union has more people, but it drops it down to 9 or 10, right? Like it's double in the United States. That's really curious, huh? And so I asked. So Google AI is really interesting, right? It's objective, and so it's kind of fun to ask questions sometimes. So I asked, why is the United States consumption so high compared to the rest of the world? The United States, this is funny, right? Okay, so just be careful, has high consumption compared to the rest of the world due to a combination of factors, including a strong economy, high incomes, and a culture that values consumption. But isn't that funny, in a world with climate change and pollution and children in Pakistan not being able to go to school? Isn't that not something to value? That's actually, in the Bible, it would be something that's lustful and greedy and immoral. So it's so funny that Google AI just put that down there, like as a blanket objective statement to what's going wrong in the world. So yeah, economic factors. It's funny that we value like rising GDP when, okay, what about the ecology? What about the earth? What about plants and animals and the ocean? Is it good for the GDP to rise or not? Like, should we be consuming all the time, or should we be reading the Holy Bible and and actually like declining our consumption rates and focusing on people in poverty, people who are homeless? We could do a lot better at being more Christian, more godly. We are a government under God. Under the Bible, the president puts his hand on the Bible, so it is a Christian country. But it's not. According to these statistics, it's Luciferic. And that's why we have Trump. That's why we have the insanity that we have right now. It's a symptom. It's a signal. It's just a variable, right? So then it's so funny, these cultural factors that Google AI puts out. Consumerism. American culture is deeply ingrained with the desire to consume and acquire more. So this is, again, it's against Christianity. That's lustful. It's also, if you're into Buddhism, you're supposed to be able to get rid of your desires. That's more spiritually awakened, to be able to be in control of your desires, to be centered and balanced and simple and yeah, this is just so funny because it's coming from Google AI. So, um, and then marketing and advertising, powerful marketing campaigns and advertising influence consumer behavior and drive the demand. So a lot of this is actually called manipulation. um, Manipulation of people, year after year. It's like the clothing trends change, so you have to buy new clothes. New technologies come out, you have to buy the new technology. It's like tennis shoe companies come out with new shoes, you have to buy new shoes. Like, it's just so funny when you could go to like a second-hand store and just buy really cool clothes that fit you, that you like, and just be simple and or complex, or just second-hand stores are really cool. They have a lot of diversity versus like wanting to fit into what everybody else is doing. That leads to consumerism. Versus I'm unique. I go to second-hand stores and I buy really unique, interesting, fascinating, fun, crazy clothes because I'm comfortable with who I am and I know who I am, and so that would so the the marketing campaigns are targeting those who are a little insecure probably, and are like, oh, I should wear that so I can be cool, so I can fit in, so then I can be loved. But actually, the love from yourself comes from yourself, not from others. The others are also insecure. They're also like, wow, looking at what everybody else is wearing, um, and you're just looking at mirrors of insecurity. Uh, so spirituality is about loving yourself, finding God. It's a totally different mindset, right? It's a totally different spiritual reality of following your heart and loving yourself, rather than, oh, does he love me because I'm wearing these clothes that everybody else is wearing too? That's kind of like communism. It's like everybody doing the exact same thing to try to fit in because they're so insecure and so not in love with themselves. And when you have a spiritual awakening, you typically start to realize, wow, uh, that's kind of sad, right? And it's also hurting the earth. And so it's this is a change in your consciousness, right? Um, and this is from Google AI. So, and then social influence. Social media and other forms of media contribute to a culture of consumption and comparison. So that's exactly what I was just talking about, right? Comparison. Uh, are my clothes better than your clothes? How how funny is that, right? This is, wow, who are you? Who are you as a person? As a can you tell me your story? Like, are you okay? Uh, Different variables than what are you wearing? It's just so. I hope this is helpful to everybody in understanding spirituality as well, um, and how the United States is really hurting the earth. Yeah, and it's interesting, like, you know, countries that maybe are more Islamic, more conservative. I'm not sure if like Saudi Arabia's in the hundreds. Okay, what is their population? Population of Saudi Arabia? Uh, I have no idea. So okay, so they're really tiny. Okay, but at least, yeah, they're only in the hundreds. Egypt is really poor. That's Israel. I'm not entirely sure what. Let's see if anybody else sticks out. So then, So then we're going down then to the African countries. So then now we're in 78, right? Because the poorer, okay, all right, Al-Urdun, so I speak Arabic, so Jordan, 35, uh-huh. So as we keep going lower and lower, uh-huh. Okay, so I used to live in Malila as well. Uh-huh. 12. Okay. So the very poor, very, very poor. Uh-huh. Haiti. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. The Congo is there. Gambia. Uh-huh. Kiribati. Uh-huh. Marshall Islands. Okay. So, all right. So as you can see, so this goes from poverty to richness, but there's a huge jump, huge differential, right, that we saw here between the United States and the European Union. That's very interesting. Again, United States, population 340. Population of the EU is even more, but they have less consumption. So what is going on? Is my question. What is going on in the United States that is driving this? And then I go here to the Google AI's answer that we're not following. We're not following Christianity, we're not following Buddhism, we're not following any religious values. We're following a bizarre culture of trying to fit in. It's like communism, and so that's kind of funny, right? We're like trying to not be communists, but we are. So I would say be yourself, be natural, be beautiful. You don't have to consume so much. You can also do handicrafts. You can build like for instance, I'm living in Peru. For the children, I had one of my friends built this for us, so they could make this on their own. Like draw little designs and things. So what if people did more things like that? Creativity, made by your neighbor, made by yourself. So yeah, if anybody else has any insights, any thoughts about any of this, I'm super curious to chat. So there you go. Sending love. Bye for now.